Okay, maybe you're not actually at the beach right now. Maybe there's no sand, no seagull somewhere up to the left, no wind doing that thing to your hair. But for a second, close your eyes if you want. Imagine it. The smell, the sound, the way your brain slows down about 3 notches near the water. Good. Hold that. Because today we are talking about someone who would have fit right in here. Not because he was calm or easy or particularly beach friendly, but because he was honest, messy, completely himself, even when that was really inconvenient for everyone around him. We are talking about Vincent van Gogh, the one with the ear, the sunflowers, the chaos. I'll be honest with you. I used to find him overrated. Too much drama, too much myth, too much sunflower posters in student dormitories. And then I look again, really looked, and I realized it's not about talent. It was never about talent. It was about feeling, about refusing to stop. And that I can work with. That's actually the whole point of why we are here. So let's imagine this. You're sitting somewhere near the water with a sketchbook. Nothing fancy. Maybe the paper's a bit damp at the edges and Van Gogh just sits down next to you. Does he correct your technique? Does he tell you your horizon's crooked? No. He looks at your page and he says, "Keep going. Don't stop. That's it." That's his entire teaching method. Van Gogh was not a prodigy. He was not one of those people who picked up a brush at the age of 7. Everyone in the room went quiet. Born in 1853 in Sundert, a small town in the Netherlands, father a pastor, mother very proper, lots of duty and Bible and discipline. Not exactly that environment that screams future revolutionary artist. He worked as an art dealer for a while. He was actually decent at it until he started telling clients their taste was wrong. Not exactly the career strategy that you should use and has some obvious limitations. Then he tried teaching, then working in a bookshop. Then, and this is my favorite part, he decided to become a preacher. He went to the coal mining region of Belgium, gave away almost everything he owned, slept on straw, lived like the miners he was trying to serve. The church eventually let him go. The official reason was that he was, quote, too zealous, too eager. For a preacher, that tells you everything you need to know about Vincent. He started painting at 27. No art school, no network, no plan. He just started because he had to, because he'd run out of other things to try, and painting was the one thing that could hold everything he felt. Have you ever started something before you felt ready? Have you ever thought, "I'm too late, other people are better at this, I missed my window"? Van Gogh could have thought all of that, almost certainly did. Knowing him, he started anyway. He never stayed anywhere long. The Hague, Antwerp, Paris, Arles, Saint-Rémy, Auvers. He was always moving, always looking for something. The right light, the right community, the right version of himself that could finally make the work he was trying to make. In Arles, he had this dream. An artist house, a yellow house. He painted it yellow because yellow meant warmth and welcome, and probably also because he just really liked yellow. He wanted other painters to come and live there, make work together, support each other, a commune of color, basically. But it did not go as planned. We'll get to that. But in Arles, even with everything that went wrong, he made some of his most extraordinary work. The yellow house, the sunflowers, the night cafe. He wasn't sightseeing, he was processing. Every place he landed, he painted it from the inside out, with brushes, with overwhelming feeling, with color choices that made people deeply uncomfortable, and still do. And here's something that surprises people. Van Gogh was obsessed with Japanese woodblock prints, hokusai, hiroshige. He collected them, hung them in his studio, studied the way they were built, the flat areas of color, the strong outlines, the bold compositions, the way a subject could be placed off-center and the whole image still felt completely right. He wrote to Theo about this constantly, about how Japanese artists had something that European painters had lost, a kind directness, a clarity, a willingness to just put the thing there without all the fussing and the shading and the trying to make it look real. And you can see it in his work. The outlines, the flat colors in place, the compositions that feel almost tilted, almost wrong, and somehow completely alive. That wasn't an accident. That was him learning from people who painted differently and then making it completely his own. And we have to talk about Theo. Theo was Vincent's younger brother and also basically his entire support system. Over 600 letters between them about painting, about money, about fear, about color, about what it means to keep going when nothing seems to be working. Theo then sent money every month. Not a lot, just enough. He believed in Vincent when almost nobody else did. Not as a fan. He wasn't just enthusiastic about the work the way a fan is enthusiastic. He was an anchor, a witness, the person who made it possible for Vincent to keep painting by making sure Vincent could keep eating. Without Theo, most of those 900 paintings don't exist. Without the letters, we wouldn't know what actually was going on inside Vincent. And that was going on inside Vincent was extraordinary and worth knowing. We start with Van Gogh in this course not because he was perfect, not because his technique was flawless, not because his life was something to model yourself on. It really, really wasn't. We start with him because he shows you what's actually possible when you stop waiting to be ready. He started at 27 with no training. He painted for 10 years. He made 900 paintings. He sold one of them while he was alive. One. And he kept going anyway, not for fame, not for money, not for approval, for the feeling of it, for the absolute necessity of it. That's what this course is about. Not technique, courage, not getting it right, getting it real. I'm an art historian and creativity educator, slightly obsessed with the North Sea and completely convinced that making art has nothing to do with talent and everything to do with showing up and starting. So let's start. Your first mark is waiting. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to exist. Let's go.